And Congresswoman, the president also said he is talking to Congress about some of these issues. He brought up infrastructure. He tried to frame it in a global way, but clearly there's also a message there about what he needs in terms of his domestic agenda, what he believes that means in terms of both domestic security and prosperity. Do you think that Congress is going to take away anything from this? And how much can the United States focus on that clearly not just ambitious, but as David points out, extraordinarily complex worldview when there is so much complication just trying to get his basic agenda through Congress right now?
Well, thank you. First, we know it's not going to be easy. And of course, the president said that. But he did open this new chapter in terms of our national security policy moving forward as it relates to global peace and security. But what he did do also is connected with our domestic agenda, which I have always said has to happen. We are part of the global community. And so I think he did a very good job in putting all of that together, even saying that democracies, including our own, in many ways are very difficult, but democracy is the path forward. But also, I was so delighted to hear him talk about the military option as always being on the table, but should not be the first option, and the ending of 20 years of war. We need to reimagine our national security strategy, which is diplomacy, development, and of course, defense is always there. And so I believe he has, in his speech, reprioritized and, as I say, reimagine how we move forward with our national security. And finally, I'll say I chair the subcommittee on state and foreign operations. Many of the Appropriations Committee and many of the investments that he talked about come through my subcommittee. And so the challenge is going to be to make sure that there is this balance, or at least this reprioritizing our tax dollars, because my budget is $62 billion. And of course, our defense budget is close to $740 billion. And so we're going to have to look at how these investments are going to be tracked and reinvested in diplomacy, development, and humanitarian assistance so that we can have a more balanced approach to our national security, which he laid out. So I think that's going to be the challenge for the Congress and for the taxpayers to recognize that we've got to invest in many of the initiatives that he talked about today.
And